I never really had much interest in film production until I went to college.
This is Berkeley in the 60s.
Things were getting pretty wacky. And in particular, I was working on a technique of clay animation.
Claymation. Thank you for turning me on.
Winning an Oscar was huge.
All of Will's dreams were coming true.
We knew we were pioneering something.
The new film Clay Dream is all about Will Vinton, who is considered the father of claymation. He created memorable commercial characters like the California Raisins, Domino Pizza's Noid, and the Talking M&Ms.
And Mark Evans, director of Clay Dream, joins us now. Mark, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I don't know if it, I'm sure in the world of claymation, Will Vinton is a household name. The average person might not know who he is. I mean, but he didn't invent the idea. Was it this resurgence that makes him so associated with back in the 80s? Because it was around in the 50s, wasn't it?
Yeah, or even before that in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And so really what he did was popularized the format and did a lot of things that had never been done before, even like putting it in color and filmmaking techniques like rack focus, and again popularized it with those characters in the 80s. And he is referred to as the father of claymation, quite literally because he coined the term claymation. Previously it was clay animation, and just kind of crunched that together. So and it was done to differentiate work that he and his studio did. But it is surprising to me because I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and the story is based in Portland, Oregon, and everybody around here knew who Will Vinton was and his work. And as we've kind of been touring this film, it's been interesting to know that he's not a name that people outside of the Northwest really knew all that well.
Well, and maybe that's because, like, I recognize the Raisins, and beyond that, there was no comedy series, there was no amusement park. You would think that would be the kind of thing that could erupt into something huge.
Which that was his path. I mean, he had something called Claymation Station. It was the amusement park that he was chasing for a while. It was really, and the film goes into this, he was really on this journey to be the next Walt Disney. Right. And that led to a lot of his successes, but also you could argue maybe some of the failures as well. And there was a series. There was the PJs that his company did, and they were really kind of on a path to be like, Pixar was doing the movies in the 90s, and Will Vinton Studios was doing TV. They had a couple TV shows. Gary and Mike was the other one. And he actually had an opportunity to merge with Pixar and ended up turning it down, which is kind of ironic considering he wanted to be the next Disney, and they're of course affiliated with Disney.
Yeah. Forgive me if I'm talking about something that's not technically claymation, but I always think of the Rankin and Bass Christmas specials or those Wallace and Gromit movies. Sure. Were they influenced by him? Were they before him?
Yeah, the Christmas movies were before, and there's definitely clay in there. And Will Vinton Studios has a great Christmas celebration called the Will Vinton Claymation Christmas Celebration that really has kind of been lost to time. I feel like it's one that should be on TV every year. We watch it, my family, every year. And then Wallace and Gromit, you mentioned, that was Aardman out in the UK, and they kind of had a parallel path with Will Vinton Studios. They were doing it at the same time, both started in the 70s, and for about a decade, neither one knew about each other because it was, mid 70s to early 80s. And then once they became aware of each other, they actually started collaborating quite a bit. They would share employees quite often, and those studios became great friends.
Is there a lesson about his life that transcends clay?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at his story, it's an inspiring story. He started his company out of his basement, won an Oscar on his first film, grew this company that he started in his basement to, $40 million a year art company with 400 employees. But there's definitely a cautionary tale as well. Once you really turn your passion into a business, and that's really where, unfortunately, Will, quote unquote, failed. But like I said, at the end of the day, I look at it as an inspiring story to chase your dreams.
Well, Mark, we appreciate you joining us. For more information, you can check out claydream.film. And on social media, look for Clay Dream Film, and Twitter, Mark _Evans. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, thanks, guys.